Hi everyone, and thanks for checking out my channel. I'm going to do the midweek checking in a few commodities, see what happened and what we could have ahead of us for the next coming 2 days. So let's get started with WTI crude oil. So on WTI, I was looking over the weekend at getting some move like this and getting to 41 plus. We actually got exactly spot on the gap from the previous major drop we had before, which was sitting at 41.1. So we got the price just spot on that here on the 41.2. At that point here, we still didn't have a clear short signal, but we had from the previous point at 40 some sort of a double top forming here on the RSI, so usually pointing to the end of a trend. So I was looking for this at some pullback and getting the divergence a little bit higher, as I was expecting it. It was the bull trap that got set nicely up to 41.5, so not buying that kind of move. Way too risky near the trend line, and the final movement here, you could see there was no momentum here, and when it got rejected at 41.5, we got that divergence here on the hourly chart. That was really obvious, steep slope on the trend line on the divergence with a clear sell signal. So I did load one short at 41 on that peak here, just in case it would actually drop much lower, but then we actually got that point here, and when we got that signal here breaking down, I loaded second short. That did work quite well, so that trend line, as expected, didn't offer actual any resistance, broke straight down, and then we got a little bit of a stabilization for the next move that came today quite nicely from 40 to 47. So the figure I was trading in terms of getting an objective here was that head and shoulder figure here. So shoulder one, head and shoulder here, and as usual when you trade that kind of figure, looking down here, the head, and reporting it a little bit lower. So the first target was to get to 39, and we got extended a fair bit lower here. I was hoping to reach the daily 20 MA that I did actually right here at 37. It did touch quickly, but I exited the short at 38. So from here, we might have some bear flag forming now here, but I'll be waiting for this and see how it does develop before actually positioning myself. But we could have another attempt to break the 37. Should we break 37, then it will be entire different story, because on the daily chart, and that divergence that we're having here at that point here could take us much lower, potentially even lower to 30, but in the first target would be 34, as the first target should break 37. So I'll be looking at this definitely for the coming 2 days and early next week. Moving to natural gas. Natural gas has been acting a little bit strange. I made some sort of graph that's not really easy to understand, but basically taking that square from here to the bottom, it's getting a bit lower here, just to see what could have happened if we would have actually stayed inside or on the previous contract. We could see that we got at that point here a break of that flag we had here. So the target now, I think, for natural gas is sitting at 146 for that move. And if we move now, get rid of this, if we move now on the new contract, we can see that we've been forming some sort of a flag again, with the lower end of that flag breaking down 1.64, but I believe that's probably not really valid anymore, and it's been jumping around that old trend line here to put some pressure on 168. So I believe that level will break soon, potentially in the coming day or two, and then we'll get back down to the lower end of the range, 146. I wouldn't actually look at opening long position before we get there. So we'll see by the end of the rollover how we go. If we're setting a bit higher, and then we have nice back buy signal where could actually enter long, but that's not the case yet. Looking at gold, I was looking at shorting gold because if you used to trade gold, it's very acting very much like this, setting new high, and there's a lot of people FOMOing the price to bring it a bit higher. So we got the same here, broke high to 1770 and then broke out, false breakout as usual. I got sold off really quickly and I opened shorts, one at 1770 and another one near the top when we got the reversal. I closed that on that touch at 1770, so very small profit on that trade, but I think we might actually do another attempt at 1800 before we see some more selling pressure and potentially move a bit lower to clear some more divergence. Could be a 1750 or somewhere there. Looking at nickel as well, so I'm still holding my short position and watching now as we are approaching some target at 12,500. We got some sort of divergence forming here. That's on the 4 hours, that's significant, so I'll be watching that level. So we have some bounce here on that trend line and forming a divergence here. Would be probably time to exit that trade and take profit. I'll check that on tomorrow, depending what the market will do. Should we break that level, then it's a different story because we might go and visit much lower level, potentially breaking down 12,000, but again, I'll be looking at the momentum and see if we can catch some on that way. The origin of the divergence is sitting here, so technically we could go down to 12,400 as an extension, but the momentum will have to pick up quite a lot. So let's see that on the coming days. So I wouldn't actually trade anything, just managing my short position that's in profit for now. And finally, looking at coffee. So we have a bit of a move outside the channel we have here. That was promising, but unfortunately we got that lack of momentum, completely lost on that second attempt to break 99. So that one is to me clear signal that we're going down again. That gap still not filling at 94, so I believe that short term we are going to fill that gap, move back inside the channel, go back down to 94 and potentially moving much lower. We still have room to move probably down to 90. I think that would be an extension of that target somewhere there. That's pointing to 86, 85. That could be also the case, but let's see what happens when we get to 94, as we might actually break the trend line we had on the RSI. So yeah, that's all for coffee, all for the check for this week, or the midweek check. I wish you luck, safe trade, and I speak to you over the weekend. Cheers, bye.